Congratulations around the region on 100 shows. Here's to 1,000. The opportunities are endless.
The Battle River Wainwright constituency includes 44 communities, twice as much as any other constituency in Alberta. Tory Doug Griffiths won the election in 04 and 08 and is running now against Midge Lambert from the Alberta Party, Amber Greenleaf from the Liberal Party, Terry Zawalski from the NDP, and Dave Nelson from the Wild Rose Party. Here's what the candidates had to say about one of the most important issues in the riding, education.
I'm very excited about the opportunities for Bill 2. It moves education from being a very prescriptive act that tells school boards what they need to do to empowering bill that gives school boards the resources they need and the power to manage issues locally, because they are duly elected officials who are accountable to the parents who have kids in school. So I'm really excited about the potential for Bill 2. We had a couple of questions around homeschooling, which I think we've addressed, and we had a couple of questions around the balance between Catholic boards and public boards and their working relationship.
I've been a school board trustee for 7 years now, vice chair of Buffalo Trail Public School, and really want to see a lot of the powers go back to the school boards. Like in Alberta, we can't even hire our own superintendent. We don't have natural person powers, and actually both of those things were in Bill 18, which this government would not pass, and in Bill 2, which you could have been passed, so that's too bad.
I'm totally with choice, but I am also absolutely, totally supportive or believe that our best education comes from our best possible public-funded education that's equal for everybody. And that people have choice, but, I mean, there's standards that we do need to expect. And that's what's going to make Alberta even better, is by keeping those high standards for all our students.
Another issue in the area is property rights and the laws that surround them.
Peter Lougheed introduced a Bill of Rights 35 years ago that protects property rights. We introduced another bill just to confirm that no one can have their property taken away, denied access to the courts, denied fair compensation or consultation. We have the strongest property rights protection in all of North America. I mean, better than Texas. And when people are still insistent, I remind them that the bills, those 4 bills, the latest one was passed 2.5 years ago, the other ones were passed 5 years ago, and I asked them, if people are really losing their property, bring somebody forward that's lost it, and they never produced a name. They stammer and stutter and say, well, I don't have any examples. Well, they need to quit terrifying people. No one is taking anyone's property away.
Well, Bill 36 really scares a lot of people, and the thing is, with a stroke of a pen, they could take away CFO, confined and feeding operation, or your well license away. And how does a business go to a bank and have confidence if a government can take away those licenses that easy? And then with Bill 24, the pore space, there's arguments about who does own the pore space, and they say, well, we don't own it, but they passed a law to make sure we don't own the pore space.
The whole introduction of all the bills have all been put in place with absolutely no public consultation whatsoever. And I am strongly opposed to the way they've done.
Accessible healthcare is also a concern in the area.
Here locally in Wainwright, the biggest issue, and I still think that's a regional issue, is the hospital. I know the Premier's fully abreast of it. Everybody in the legislature, I think, is fully aware of it because I've talked about it enough times, that this hospital is no longer functional for the growth that we've had in healthcare. We have a fantastic contingent of doctors, and the next step, which I'm sure we'll get to in the next 2 years, is to turn the sod on a new hospital that's a regional hospital for the area that will help us attract more doctors, train more rural staff, and meet the needs of a growing community, a growing military base, and the surrounding communities.
We did a mail out to 47 different towns in Battle River Wainwright, and we don't have a dialysis machine in this riding. And we can give Ken Kowalski $1.2 million to say goodbye to him, but we can't have a dialysis machine. Like, Alberta Health Services needs a real cleanup.
Our massive Alberta Health Services conglomerate isn't really addressing local issues. It's centralized decision-making that isn't working. There's useful things about having the big centralized board, but having said that, I think the actual decision-making can't be made at that level. It has to be made at local levels.
Liberal candidate Amber Greenleaf and NDP candidate Terry Zawalski were unavailable for comment. Coming up next, we'll meet the candidates in the Bonnyville Cold Lake riding.